Okay, so now for the final step of this short tutorial on how to create a Spring application with a RESTful API. So we have seen on our exercise that, for instance, the people resource, the list of all persons in the database, we could have something like a search parameter, right? And search parameter is given in the query string. So query strings in query string in get methods correspond to request parameters. So if we just say that there's a request parameter called search, we will have the capability of putting a query string in the request, but of course there's a get. So let's do this. So there's a get unpure, and then I will have, okay, completion finished. Search equals blah. So since cannot end, you can't, because it's not running. Okay, and that's fine. And if I take this out, I will get an error. Okay, bad requests. And why? Because there is a required string parameter search. Okay, and that's because we want search to be optional. So parameterize this parameter to be not required. So if we just try now, okay, we will see that we will have no errors in this. Okay, just wait a bit. So we have the empty list with or without the search. What happens is if it's not given, search will be null. Okay, will be given the value null. So we have to react something to this. So we will test this. So if search is different from is null, then the result will be the complete lists. Okay, but we also can specify that we can search for a substring in the name. So we'll have to use some other method of the repository, but it's not in the method of the repository to search for the name. We can actually say find by name. Okay, find by name, and find by name, if we define this on the repository, on the interface, okay, we will have, okay, I forgot to add search or just name and give it here as argument, okay, and this will search our database. Let's try it out. This will search the database, and notice that I just defined one method on the interface. I didn't provide an implementation for it, but Spring knows that I have a property called name, so it will issue a query saying select star from person where name is equal to whatever I give here. So if I just do this, I will have the empty string. Okay, let me just insert which one? Okay, let's make this a bit shorter. So Jane is now on the database, and I now can search for Jane. And what's a search? Not the post. Oh, so I just inserted the thing. So I will have Jane. Okay, if I just look for John, so it's the empty list. Okay, so it works. That is the expected query I want. But now I want to do a search. So the same thing, the same method. Instead of using find by name, I will say search by name. So Spring doesn't know how to implement search by name, but I will tell him how to do it. I will tell it that this is represented by a query, okay, and of course I have to import, and the query is written in HQL, which is or JPL now, so Hibernate Query Language or JPA Query Language, and the query goes like this. So select P from person P, and I'm using here the Java names. So this might seem like a string, but it's actually verified. Well, and I will say where. So p.name like, and now I can use name here. Okay, I can use name. I can use the parameter of the method inside the query, and it will check, for instance, for the SQL injection in this parameter, and this query is checked for syntax and also for compliance with the database schema. Okay, so but I really don't. So we can test this, which is not really what I want, but I'll get there. So search by name, okay, and if we restart. If we restart, we can try and do a post with Jane. Okay, then do a get with no arguments, and that's Jane is there. And then if I just search Jane, I will get an internal server error. Well, okay. Okay, so sorry. So I guess I have to use this. Import class. Yes, I guess this is the one. No. Okay. Let's restart. Okay, so we have a post. Body is Jane. Okay, now if I do a get, I'll get Jane back. And if I'm searching for Jane, I'll get Jane back. And if I use Any other thing like J, I don't get anything. Why? Because I used like with the completeness, so it's the same as having, well, an equal sign. So in order to have, you know what I have to do? I have to have a percentage before and after the name. Okay, but it's not really hard to do this. I'll have to use concat to make it safe. Okay, and if I do this, it will concatenate the name with the percentage and do exactly what I want. Okay, so again, I'll do a post. With Jane Doe or with Jane. Do another one with Jane Doe. Okay, so if I do a get on this URL, I should get 2. Yeah. So if I now search for Jane, I should have 2. If I search for Doe, I should have only 1. So the like is actually working fine. Spring provides me with a mechanism to define simple queries, okay, or actually Spring data, the component Spring data, but it's also customizable and I can write more complex that will be checked and ran and connected to a method, okay? So next, we will see how to use the objects to navigate through the database schema, and of course, how to optimize it using the relations between objects and queries defined in JPA. Okay, another thing, this is step of this tutorial, and all of these steps are available in the Git repository in 4 different. Okay.